Hi everyone, it's Natasha, and I just finished a card on Ustream. Thank you for those of you who were able to keep me company. This is card number 1 in the holiday series, and as you can see, the Not So Scary Tree has made every appearance. So it's a Merry Christmas card without a stitch of red or green. Well, except for the punch. So what I did is I used a Staples cover stock and cardstock 110-pound weight as the base, and then in the powder blue from this super mini 6x6 cardstock stack that I got at AC Moore. I think this was $5. Pre-cut 140 sheets of 65-pound weight, and I used the excuse me, I used the powder blue because I wanted to also punch out the little snowflakes, and the snowflakes are using this little Studio G punch, which I can show you as my tip for today's video. This is how I store them, and I have more. I just have to add them to this particular drawer. This is one of the drawers from a 3-drawer unit. I believe it's from Sterilite. So that's the little Studio G punch, which I punched out with this little blue, powder blue paper and just glued it on. I did trim the tree down a little bit, so I have a base of the same powder blue. So the standard A2 size card is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I have the powder blue first layer at 4 by 5 1/4, then a white layer cut to 3 3/4 by 5, and then run through this Cuttlebug embossing folder. I unfortunately don't remember the name of it, but I think this was a set, and it's a 5 by 7. It's one of the larger ones. So I just chose the portion of it that I wanted to run it through, and then I just adhered everything with my ATG and the Merry Christmas, which I stamped with Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And it's from Stephanie Bernard's Stamps of Life, and this set is where is this? The name is Trees for Christmas, and it's this particular Christmas, Merry Christmas. I like the font, and it fit perfectly. And what I usually do when I have a very specific space to work with for the sentiment, I audition the image before stamping it, and I actually even go as far as stamping it once on the back side. And then the only other thing that I did is I mounted the sentiment and the tree on this 1/8" dimensional foam, which I pick up at my junk store, Lots and More, which one right next to me has closed, but there's one next to my parents' house. So as you can see, it's just ever so slightly dimensional, still perfect for mailing through the US Post Service without it being more than 1/4 inch. So that's the dimensions. It's got to be 1/4 inch or thinner in order to be able to be mailed in the standard A2 size envelope with 1 postage stamp. So it's nice to make cards, greeting cards that are going to go in the mail this size, because then you don't it doesn't require additional postage. If you go square, you would have to pay additional postage unless you put it in a regular or standard rectangle card. The 5 by 7 rectangle card envelopes, if you have like a 5 by 5. So just keep that in mind. It's just easier to go with a standardized size. That way you don't have to pay anything extra. And it's relatively light because it's the layered papers, or the powder blue paper is only 65-pound weight, so I'm not adding a lot. And then just to give it a little bit of a balance to the back, because the front would be a little too top heavy. I know, fill in the joke. What I did is I just used the remnant from the punch out of the little snowflakes, which I glued on using my Zig 2-way, just this basic Zig 2-way, and a pair of tweezers, because it's such small image, some small pieces, that it was just easier to place down. And then the only other thing that I did, which actually is a little bit lost because of the white background, the texture background, is I did rub the tops, I don't know if you could see, of the tree, just the top branches, with the Faber-Castell gelatos in this white. Because initially I was going to use some puffing embossing powder that I have, but from my recollection of using it the last time, it was just a little bit on the yellow side rather than pristine white, and I think it would have stood out a little bit like birds have passed by and it was yellow snow, so it wouldn't have made the same impact. So I just went with a gelato instead, and it's just ever so slight. You could see just a little bit at the bottom too, kind of like it's already been touched with snow. And then the very last thing that I did is, you could see there's a little bit of shimmering, and that's from the Perfect Pearls in Perfect Pearl. And I literally did like one spray from up really high, so you just left a little bit of a deposit as though you're seeing the card through a snowfall filter. So there you go, there's the first card, and the only other thing that I did is I just added my personalized stamp on the back. So I'll include links in the description below to my blog post, which will have photographs and a full recipe, including a listing of all the products that I used. And if my voice holds out, I will continue making cards tomorrow and over the course of the weekend. And Hanukkah, first night of Hanukkah is Sunday. Is it Saturday night or Sunday? It's just around the corner, so the next card might be a Hanukkah card. I've already made the cards for my family, so they're all set, but I will make a Hanukkah card as part of this holiday series. If you have any suggestions of what you would like to see, like maybe if you want to see a Kwanzaa card or a New Year's card, which are kind of out of the ordinary. Most people make Christmas cards, but this took a life of its own. It was going to be a Hanukkah card at first, but then just kind of went in this direction, and I had to go with the flow. So again, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Don't forget the thumbs up. You've got 2. Oh, and yes, I do have 2 different nail colors on. It's okay. I was trying out different colors. You know how I get. So I'll promise I'll have new color on tomorrow. As always, thank you so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget, I have a giveaway. If you missed that video, go check out my channel. Thanks for watching, everyone.